I'm Karen Stangram and welcome to Christmas at Conquer Crochet. We are on day 15 of the Conquer Crochet Advent Calendar. If you've missed the previous days and you want to join us for the next days, you need to come and join me on my social media, on Facebook and on Instagram TV. All the links are in the descriptions below. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to make a Christmas star, which you can then add to your Christmas cards. You can add to your scrunchies that you've made before. You can make garlands with them. Really cute little pattern. Just something simple that you can whip up in an evening for your crochet Christmas. If you haven't subscribed already, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss a single stitch. And if you're ready to get going, give me a thumbs up below. Let's do this. To make the star, I'm using the Patterns 100% cotton double crochet in a yellow. You can do these in whatever colour you want, whatever goes with your Christmas decorations. I'm using a 4mm hook. I have my scissors and my needle for snipping off and sewing in my ends. To start off our star, we're going to need to make a magic ring. If you haven't made a magic ring before, I'll put a link to a video that I made in the cards up here. There are three methods, or three main methods of doing the magic ring. I have my preferred way. Other people may prefer other methods, so please do it in whichever method you prefer to do. So I'm going to make my magic ring. And I'm going to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this 4 chain is going to count as a half treble and 2 chains. And you'll see the pattern that we're working on this round is 2 half trebles and 2 chains. So at the end we're going to be putting in an extra half treble just to make up this last pattern here. Okay, so to start off then we're going to make 2 half trebles into the magic ring. So that's yarn over, into the ring, yarn over, pull back through. You have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull back through all 3 of those loops. So that's our first half treble, yarn over, insert into the magic ring, yarn over, pull back through. And you have to sort of twist your hook as you're doing that. Yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. So that's 2 half trebles and then we're going to chain 2. So that's our first one done. We need 4 of those. So we're going to do 2 half trebles. So that's 1. I'm going to make my magic ring a bit smaller because it's a bit big to work with. 1 and 2, and then 2 chains. So we now have 1 motif, 2 motifs, 2 half trebles again, 1 and 2. Oops, go through. There we are. Chain 2. And then 2 half trebles again, so we now have 1, 2, 3. This is the last one. So 2 half trebles, and 2 chain. And if you remember at the beginning I said that our 4 chain counted as a half treble and 2 chains, so we need to do the other half treble that would make up this motif. I'm just going to pull my magic ring a bit tighter because it's stretched as we're using it. So I'm going to do 1 half treble into the magic ring. And make sure you're going over both parts of the magic ring. It's really important that you go over this tail part, otherwise when you pull it, it won't actually close the circle. Okay, I'm now going to pull my magic ring to close it. And then to finish off this round, we're going to crochet into the 2 chain space we created with our 4 chains at the start. I'm going to make a slip stitch in there, so insert, pull through your yarn and pull through the one on your hook. So you should now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. So you've got a pentagon going on here with sort of inserts into the side here. That's not the right word, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, we're going to chain 1. Chain 1 doesn't count as a stitch, it's just giving us the height for our next row. Now we're going to be working into the 2 chain spaces all around. So there's one here, one here, one here, one here, one here. So basically where your points are. And we're going to make those points more prominent with our next stitches. So we're going to do a double crochet into that chain space. Going to do a half treble into the chain space. We're going to do a treble into the chain space. We're then going to do the picot stitch. Again, I'll put a link in the cards to the video I did on the picot stitch. So we need to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to slip stitch into that first stitch that we just chained. So because that's now the point of our star, we need to match up what we did on this side. So we're going to do the reverse of what we just did. So we're going to do treble in the same chain space. Oops, out of the way, tail. So treble. Oops. Then we do the half treble. Then we do the double crochet. Okay, so all that has happened in that 2 chain space, and we now have our point for our star. We're now going to slip stitch into the space created between these 2 half trebles here. So you can see there's a little gap here. So we're going to insert the hook in there, yarn over, pull it back through and slip stitch. Slip stitches are often used for traveling, and we're traveling from one peak to the next peak. Okay, so now we need to do the next one. So we're going to double crochet into the 2 chain space. So double crochet, a half treble, a treble. And why is it the tail always gets in my way on the treble? Then we do our picot stitch. So we chain 3, we slip stitch into that first chain, yarn over, pull through, and pull through the one on our hook. Then we do the reverse of what we did at the start. So we start off with the treble, and then getting smaller by doing the half treble, and then we do the double. And we're going to slip stitch again into that space between the 2 half trebles here. So we're going into this space here. So insert your hook, yarn over, pull back through, yarn, pull through the one on your hook. Okay, going into our 3rd point. So we're going to do a double crochet, getting bigger with the next stitch. So that's a half treble. Then we do our treble. Oops. Then we do our picot stitch. Then we do the reverse. So we're going to be getting smaller. So we do a treble, then a half treble, and then a double. And again, we're going to slip stitch into this 2 chains, into this space between the 2 half treble stitches, and that just travels us along. Double crochet, half treble, treble, picot. Then treble, half treble, and double, and slip stitch into that gap between the 2 half trebles of the previous round. So we come to our last point of the star. So we're going to do a double, a half treble, a treble, Then we're going to do a picot stitch. Picot stitches are great for if you're doing spikes or point things, if you're making crowns or tiaras or something for your little princesses, or if you're doing spikes on leaves, or if you're doing certain petals on flowers need spikes. So the picot stitch is really great for that. Going back down now, we're going to do our treble, half treble, double crochet. And then we're going to go into this stitch, which would be where we would do our slip stitch in all the previous points. So we're going to slip stitch into there, and then we're going to finish off. Oops, let's have the end there. Obviously we'll sew in our ends, and there is our star. Now you could do your star in various colours. I have one here that I've done in silver. It all depends on what your Christmas decor is like. So you could have a yellow with some red. If you wanted to put it onto red, you could have yellow with blue, or you could have silver with blue. Really does depend on what your decor is for your Christmas season. So that's how to make a crocheted star. You could put a few of these together to make a nice garland. You could add these to your Christmas cards. You could put them onto little hair slides for the children in your family. You could put them onto the scrunchies that we made a few weeks ago. Lots of ideas that you could use with this beautiful little star motif. If you want to join me for the rest of my Conquer Crochet Advent Calendar, don't forget to have a look in the descriptions below for my Facebook page or my Instagram page, where you can catch up with all the things that we've had so far since the 1st of December and everything we have going up to the 24th of December. In next week's video, I'm going to be showing you another quick crochet Christmassy make, so don't forget to hit the subscribe and the notification bell so you don't miss a single stitch. Also on screen are 2 other videos to help you on your crochet journey, and thank you so much for joining me today, and happy Christmas hugging!